name's Sarah Brown and I'm the Senior Registrar for Collections and Loans at Bendigo Art Gallery. We're currently undertaking a massive digitisation project to catalogue and record all of the 5,000 objects plus that are in our collection. This project began back in January in collaboration with Creative Victoria, and Creative Victoria has provided funding to many regional galleries in Victoria to digitise their collections and make them available online so that people around the world and nationally can access and use them. It's a really exciting project to be a part of. Digitisation at Bendigo Art Gallery looks like what you can see behind me, which is we have converted a gallery space into a photography studio. And this incorporates a professional photographer who's shooting all of our objects with the assistance of professional art handlers and cataloguers. We need to photograph paintings, textiles, ceramics, works made of glass, works made of feathers. It's a really complicated process, but a really exciting one because it brings the collection out and we get to see everything, and things that haven't been seen for a while are getting their time to shine. Digitising each object is a different thing for each work depending on its material composition and use and display. So for instance, with a textile, we'd need to make sure a mannequin was available and that it could be dressed safely. There might be complicated underpinnings involved that need to be built and attached to the work as well. Today we're digitising works on paper, which means bringing them up from the collection store in their large cylinder boxes and then removing them one by one from the cylinder box very carefully, placing them, photographing them and then cataloguing them. Cataloguing is a process of looking at a work of art and extracting all of the information you can from it so people can use it and research it in the future. So for a work on paper, like a print or a photograph, you'll be looking for any signatures, maker's marks, embossing plate marks to identify the type of print it might be. It's a really detailed process and it's a really great thing to be able to do at this time because our catalogue has a few gaps in it. So by being able to look at these works as we're processing them for photography, it means we don't have to get them out again at the end of this process and handle them all over, which is a risk to the work. We want to try and handle the works as infrequently as possible. Creating digital copies of works is really beneficial to the conservation and future care of the work. And this means that if you have a digital copy, you don't have to be touching the work or pulling it out of storage or even getting the work out for display very regularly if people can see it online. It also means that you're capturing the best version of that work at the time. So today, for instance, when we're capturing work, this will be the youngest that work will ever be. So in the future, when people look up this work online, they'll see the best version that it was captured at the time. So things like photographs can continue to fade even when they're kept in optimum conditions. If we're capturing high resolution images of works, it also means that people can zoom in and see really great detail of the works that you can't necessarily see just by viewing it in the gallery space under gallery lighting. So it's also helpful for the research of this work and investigation purposes in the future. If people want to look at the work in great detail rather than pulling it out of storage, we can look at the work online and gather information and keep the work safe in its storage box. Once the digitisation project is complete, we look forward to you exploring the collection online on our website.